talk around our office was, again, kind of, well, yes, the services that we know of at 201 are services, but is that legitimately available? And what the plan is to actually get the 20 people that are at Occupy, is that realistic?
I wasn't personally involved in contacting providers, but it's my understanding that various providers were contacted and they felt they had enough room, shelter. That was a big point of the meeting last night, shelter, not housing, that there were slots available.
There's currently one person that we're working with who lives in the encampment. It's on our waiting list, but one of the big difficulties is contacting. He doesn't seem to have a phone, or his phone runs out of minutes, so we have had some outreach workers go out towards there and try to, come back and get him in so we can interview him and see if he'd be acceptable.
There's some of us who pretty much know all the people. I imagine you could contact one of us and we could get you in touch with that person.
Yeah, Lynn sort of appointed me to be the one to gather all the contact information for everybody. So I'm working really hard on getting that done today, and we are setting up a group of advocates who will go with people to various meetings that of anyone who can get an appointment. So if you can't contact people, we'll be able to contact them. They'll put down whose name might be able to contact them instead.
Can you say more about that? I'm not sure what you're...
Well, at the meeting last night, they said there's services available, and that people are saying that they don't want services. I don't think that that's true about anybody there, and so Lynn asked me to get all the information. She wanted to know exactly who was at camp. I've got some forms. People are reluctant to give their information because they're afraid that the Parks Department will give them tickets if they give them their names. And so we made up some forms saying this is only for human services purposes. And so I'm not giving any names until they've actually signed those forms. I've got to hunt everybody down. And so I've done my best so far this morning to get a bunch of people, but I will continue working on that and get that information to Lynn as quickly as possible. And then as they contact those people, us advocates will come with them to meetings to try to figure out what's going on. Because I think we discovered last night there's a huge communication gap. I don't know what is going on, but there's like, on one side everyone's saying, well, there's services and everybody's fine, and on the other side, the people who are sleeping on the hill clearly don't feel like there's services, and so we're just trying to sort through that to try to figure it out. But I don't know how I ended up doing that, except I have a big mouth. So any help from anybody would be appreciated. I also put a release of information on there as well, so that I can talk with Solarian and Porchlight and Salvation Army in various cases. So we'll just take it from there and see what happens. I took the day off, and I hope to get everybody's signatures by tonight, but I don't know if I can do it that quickly. I expected more people to be at Bethel this morning, and they weren't.
In the meantime, though, I'd be happy to shuttle a message, a direct message from the person you think is going to be able to get services from me to that person.
He's contacted me, and he can do that, and I don't necessarily know confidentiality.
I know who it is. I know who it is. It's
okay. Yes, Rich.
I just said one thing to the mayor, so one here, just from my viewpoint on development. We're missing a lot of SROs, single room occupancy, dormitory style for people. It would be more affordable. I think it would, really contribute to getting more people off the street. So just an idea out there.
And our next meeting, and Mayor Simon will be here again next month. Our December 4th meeting. Again, is it going to be in this room or is it going to be in yours?
I hope to be more precise today. We're having some problems with Warner Park saying that we're over-occupying our room.
Don't worry about it.
That's the goal.
Right.
It's working.
That there's a 40-person occupancy limit. So we were supposed to be in a different room, but it was going to cost us money, so we were going to talk about what that meant to us as a group. But as you see, we're in the same room. So plan on next month's meeting being somewhere here in Warner.
Thank you.
Just a brief follow-on to Anita's questions. I think it illustrates that there's a public communication problem. There certainly has been a public relations problem in that there's a distinction between what's said publicly being more optimistic than what's true about availability of services and actual connection with actual people. And I just want to urge that we clean up our act on it. We have a right to have integrity about how we do things. We all have shame about the shortage that we have had for a long time in delivering service. But we need a different way to deal with that because triage and wait lists are visiting harm on people. And I know it's hard to look at that when you go home at night and you haven't been able to serve those that walked in the door. I had that same experience already 8 years ago with the homeless couple that were in our home and we tried to find service. No children, bye-bye. Maybe go back to Chicago or something. So I just think the public would come forward in several ways if you let them know. And that's part of what we in the volunteer groups are trying to do. And there's a lot of volunteer interest and volunteer capacity that could be brought to bear. And I urge you to think about having some information on hand about folks like us. Thank you.
Okay, again, if you haven't signed in, please do, and thank you all very much, and we'll see you on the floor.
What?
My blog post this morning.
He texted you now?
Yeah, he does that.